what I'm going to be presenting today is conditioning formatting with PowerApp using SharePoint as a data source. So let me tell you a little bit by myself. I work for a medical company called Conviva that will be taken over by Humana soon. The way I got into Power Apps, if anybody knows, is because of InfoPath. I don't know if anybody uses InfoPath anymore. So I was doing a lot of forms with InfoPath and SharePoint and was introduced to Power App last year and fell in love with it. I've been doing SharePoint for about 7 years plus, and Power App, I've been doing it for like almost a year plus now. Basically, the agenda that we're going to talk about today is what is conditioning formatting. It's just more of a formal change as a background, item shading or font color, or basically it does not change the data in the list items. It only changes how display to users who browse the gallery and allows you to control data in your gallery in a way that will help you analyze the data in a much deeper way. Just a short three-pointer of conditioning formatting. What we're going to be doing it within the Power App. So this is more of an overview canvas. Basically, this is where we're going to use to create our Power App with SharePoint as a data source. As you can see, the left navigation is where everything's going to live. Number 2 is where we're going to do the design for the app. Number 3 is basically where the properties of the formula will be applied. Number 4 is the formula bar. That's where we're going to write the formula. And number 5 is basically the ribbon where we create the screen, bold letters, and so on. So basically, the functions that we're going to use today in this agenda is basically the if, the switch function, the new form function, and the edit function. And basically, what I'm going to be demonstrating is how we're going to create two screens using one form function within the two screens. And I'll show that in the demo today. So imagine having a SharePoint list, and it looks like this with the title, the prices, the quality of hands, the status. It looks plain, it looks okay, but imagine if you could just transfer this into a Power App and look something like this, and have it more like a UI, more like a user-friendly experience for the users to enter stuff, edit stuff, and just leave SharePoint at the data source, at the backend. Another thing too is we're going to use two connectors today. We're going to use a SharePoint connector that's going to connect into a SharePoint site, and we're going to use a Office 365 connector. I found this Power BI that basically will help anybody determine what is a premium connector, visit via a free connector. And I'll put the link in the chat room so to help you guys out determine between the premium and the standard. And the next thing is, if you ever want to start developing Power App, there is a free site where Power App will give you a free environment, and you could do all the testing, all the development, everything that you need to do to learn and to continue learning Power Apps. The good stuff about the plan, it basically brings the Power App environment, it brings the Power Automate, the Dataverse, and a lot of APIs and SDKs that you can create. The only catch is you cannot share outside of the environment. So it's like your own personal environment, local environment, but they give you everything that you need to get started to understand both the Power Apps and Power Automate. And last but not least, basically, the way I started learning is going to the Power App community and basically just looking at the issues, the questions that users were asking, and try to see if I could do it myself. I try to answer some questions, and I also post some questions, and that's the way I started learning Power Apps on my own. So basically, that's what we're going to do today. You can reach me here on these following Twitter, LinkedIn, GitHub. You can follow me there. So after the presentation today, I'm going to upload the solution over there so you can download it and take a look at it. And then modify and play around with it. And of course, you can email me at this email address. So I think the better thing is to do the demo. I think that's probably be a lot more fun than me talking. So let's go ahead and start the demo. So, okay. So imagine this. Let me go ahead and close this. So this is basically what we're going to build now. Is basically it's going to be an inventory of ice cream. And basically you'll be able to add a new inventory. You'll be able to update the inventory, and you'll be able to delete the inventory. And then here will be a normal dashboard that basically every time you create one, we can change the status and it'll count the status depending on how many items. So right now we have 5 new items. That's new. We have 2 pending items, 2 approve items, 2 reject items, and 1 schedule. And basically, this is how the app is going to look. So let's go ahead and build the app from scratch. So I hope so far everything's okay.
Good, thank you.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do, all right, is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to make.powerapp.com. And this is where it's going to load the environment. And then basically what we do is we're going to go ahead and create the app. So before we do that, let's go ahead and create our own SharePoint list. So for this presentation, I already created one. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the inventory one as a data source. So right now we have the data here. Everything's looking good. Okay. So now what we do is we'll go ahead and select app, create canvas. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a tablet layout. Okay. So the first thing we'll do is we're going over here to our data little icon here. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for the SharePoint connector. And once you search for it, you'll be able to see the SharePoint connector here. We'll go ahead and click on this. We'll click on the SharePoint and it will load up all the SharePoint sites. So what we're going to look for is the ice cream inventory SharePoint. So we click on this and then it's going to load all the lists that contains under that SharePoint site. So we'll use the inventory one. We'll click connect here. And now we have our data source inventory one for SharePoint. The next one that we're going to go ahead and connect to is called the Office 365 user. We'll go here and basically, so we have our 2 connectors that we'll be using for the application today. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create another screen, and the best way to create a screen with a shortcut is you do Shift M. Okay. This just happens when you demo. Okay, so let's go ahead and click this one. Okay, so there's 2 screens here. Now what we have to do is we're going to insert a gallery. We'll go to over here and we're going to do a vertical gallery. The good part about Power App is the minute that you click on the gallery, it will ask you what data source you want to connect to. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect to the inventory database, the data shared, the data source that we just created. Okay, so now we got this. Go ahead and format this. We're not going to use an image at this time. So we'll do the title. And there we go. We got the SharePoint connected and we got the information imported. Okay, so now the fun starts. So now what we're going to do is we're going to format this. Go here. And we'll do this. We'll keep it here. And then, so the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove this. Let's go ahead and put, okay, so now we're going to do the dark background. So now let's go ahead and change the color to something here, white.
You're making everybody hungry already.
Sorry about that.
Getting ice cream.
So we'll keep it this way. Now what we do is, what we're going to do is we're going to make this darker gray. And we're going to make the border a little thicker, to at least that was too thick here. So we'll go here and we'll go to here. We'll change the color to something more, something like that. So far we got this looking this way. Okay, so now the good thing is what we're going to do is now we're going to bring in a couple more of the fields. So the first thing, that's the thing about the gallery, is that if the text is long, you just have to just kind of like format it so any text that overlaps just gets wrapped up. So now we got this. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this guy, and we're going to bring the quantity. So this item quantity, that will bring in the quantity, and then basically we'll create another label. Do this guy here, and basically we'll call this status value. So it could bring in, okay, so now all the status comes in. Now let's go ahead and just stretch this out. Okay. Now the cool stuff here is, let's go ahead. This is where we're going to use the Office 365 data source. So what we're going to do is there's a column called create by. So what we do is we go here, and then what we do is we get a label. You know what? Better yet, we'll do this, and we'll do the image. We'll bring it here. Then, and then basically we'll put this here. Let me see. There it is. Okay. So we'll add Office 365 user photo. Office 365 user, my profile, and then the ID. If everything's go well, it should bring in the picture.
Looks like you have a ton of options under that Office 365
Yeah,
to choose
yeah,
from.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically we have that. So what we'll do is, so let's just move this over here because I forgot to bring in the price. So we'll go here. We'll bring in this guy here. And then we'll go this item price. And now it's going to show the price here. So let's go here so we can see a bit. Okay. So now what we're going to do is now go ahead and create the dashboard. And what we'll do is we're going to do this, and we're going to create on the icons. You always have to drill down to the icon that you're looking for. There's not like a search function. So now we'll do this, and we'll go and put a rectangle here. We'll stretch it out something here. We'll change the color to something more like here. So here, what we do is we're going to create a couple labels here. Okay, so we create two labels here, and then we're going to do it. Yeah, there's no easy way, and then we'll just basically create, and then we can group this after. So I think it's okay. So basically now what we're going to do is we'll call this new, and then we'll fix this after. And then we'll call this pending. Sorry about that. Pending. And then we'll call this rejected. Then we'll call this schedule. Okay. Okay. And then this one was basically was this. And this has what was the stat? Okay, we have new, pending, and approval. Okay. So now we go here and we go ahead and type in approval. Okay. We can then we'll fix the so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a function called count rows. So what we're going to do is we're going to do count rows, filter, and then you know what? I apologize. What we have to do is we're going to have to create a collection here. Invisible. This is going to store the collection. What we're going to do is we're going to create a collection that is going to bring in all the SharePoint data over to a collection in Power Apps. And then this is what we're going to use to count the pending status item from, like 2 new, 2 pending, 5 rejects. So what we have to do first.
Hey, Oscar, can you
Yeah.
explain the difference between the SharePoint list and the collection you're creating?
Yeah, the SharePoint list, it's an online list, and then the collection is more like an in-memory table that can hold data within that Power App application. So a share yeah, so a SharePoint list is more like a cloud list, and a collection is more like an in-memory data table list, if that makes sense.
It does.
So yeah, so collection holds the memory. SharePoint is more like an online list that can store data. It's like a SQL and stuff like that. So hopefully I answered that question. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a clear collect. We're going to call this, and this is the good part about once you do that, it's asking for the name of the collection. So what we'll do is we'll call this ice cream, right? And then basically what we'll do is we're going to import.
Are you on app start on start?
What I'm doing is I'm doing on visible. So when the screen launches, it automatically creates the collection.
But you're not.
Yeah, it looks like you got moved to the text.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good catch. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So now we create the collection. So now if we run just to test it, if we run on start, we'll go ahead and click on view, click on collection, and now
Yeah, you put it on the on visible, not the on start.
Yeah, if you move that collection to the on start
this.
and you run that again, it'll show up there.
Sorry about that. Okay. So now we go to collection. There it is. It's a learning process. So basically, so everything's there now. So now we go back to our label here, and now we do the count rows, filter, And then our collection is there. Then we go to status, value. New. And there it is. Now it brings in the count. So basically what you do for the rest is just copy here, go to pending. And then what we do, we go here, we go to reject. And we go to here. We go to schedule. And then we go to here. And we just rename it to, I have a typo there. So we go here and there's approval there. That's how you bring, that's how a collection works, is you can bring in like a whole SharePoint list or a whole SQL table and then use the collection as an in-memory to bring in whatever information you want and use it within the app. So now what we do is we'll just align this guy. Okay, align this. Okay, so right now we have this. So let's go ahead and create the form. And the good part is that once you create the form, you could just select the data source in the property. And now you see your data source here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the inventory one. Now this is going to bring in the form. We'll go ahead and align this. We'll go ahead and take the attachment. We're not going to use that. Okay, so now the good part is that we'll do this. And we're going to bring in this guy here.
Do they have it in Power Apps? Excuse my kind of beginner. Could you just like control click over with your mouse and it'll select everything? Does that work? Clicking and dragging? Yeah, like that.
No,
You
because
have to individually select the items.
yeah, that's the thing with PowerApps is basically, there's no
Mhm.
way to like, control and copy all.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
basically now what we do is we go here and then basically we just, there's no way right now that I know that you can do that.
Mhm.
So now we have the form. So then what we're going to do is we're going to realign. So what we do is we'll go to edit field and you'll see all the fields here. So what we're going to do is just move up the status and keep the status up here. We'll go ahead and unlock this. Okay. And then here, what we do, okay, so now we had the form and we have, so then we can align this after. So when we go here, align, just align this. Okay, so now we have, we go to this guy. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a button that will take us to the screen one. So now we do we'll call this edit. We'll change the look and feel. We'll change the button to be more square. And then basically what we do now in the on select is what we do is we'll go ahead and go to edit form. And then we'll go ahead and navigate to screen two. So now we do this. Okay, so now what we have to do, sorry, is now the data source connect to this. So let me make sure that now the data is right, because we have to put it in. Okay, so I think it was, so basically we go from here. And then we go to, okay. So now is selected, edit, right? To the form one, navigate to screen two. Okay. So now what we do, okay. This is, we go here.
Did you tie that form to your gallery?
Yeah, let me just, so we have the gallery here. We have the gallery here, right? And then basically, this is the fun part about Power App, the troubleshooting part.
But go to your form for me. Go to the form.
Yeah, the
All the way
form.
down. Yeah, the form screen too.
Yeah.
Select that form. Okay.
Yeah.
Now go to your drop down where it says data source on the left there.
Right.
No, the
On the
data
left?
source. Yeah, that
Yeah.
drop down. Look for item.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, great community. Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah. Okay. So here it is.
Nice.
There it is. Okay. Thanks.
Do you have to do that form mode new as well?
No. So
Does that
right
do it?
now,
Okay.
we just, yeah, because I didn't select the gallery in the item, and that's what happened. So now, if we go back to screen one, we should be able to see now. If we go here, it brings in. Yeah. So let's do this. We'll go to here, and we'll do like we'll go back. We'll do you know what? We'll do the just do the back navigation for now, and then what we do is just hit the back function. So now what we do is we'll launch this, and now we'll get the data from the gallery every time we select an item. Okay. Thank you for that. Sorry, just a little nervous.
Doing great. Doing great.
So now what we're going to do is we'll go to here, and what we're going to do is we're going to create two buttons. And I'll show you the reason why. So one is going to be update, and one is going to be submit. Okay, so basically the submit will be it will be in the visible. So we go to here, and we go to visible, and what we're going to do is if form one mode is equal to form mode new, right, to new, then what we're going to do is say show the button. If not, don't show it. Okay. Now let's just put this over here, and then the update. What we're going to do with the update is, what am I getting?
Is it supposed to be form mode dot new?
Yeah. No.
Is that it?
Oh no. Sorry. It's basically. I'm okay.
Did that do
So
it?
no-
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that did it. Yeah. So
Cool.
now what we do is we go to, for the update, we'll do the same thing. And the update will be this one here. Will be if form mode equal form mode dot edit. Right. So go to edit. Have the true. Okay. So since we're in edit mode, so now let's do the test. If we go to the beginning of the app, and hang on, let's go to, let's add a new button here. And then what we're going to do is just change it to a box. Okay. So now, so if we go to edit, it should only show the update. And then if we go to new, that, let's go ahead and put the formula behind that. And the new is basically, it's going to be called new form. And then we're going to call the control form 2 and navigate to edit screen, to screen 2.
And is that just so one, only one button applies for a certain, whether
Right.
it's new, right? Yeah.
Right. So
Nice.
that's just so you can save on real estate on the Power App. It's
Mhm.
always good to use less than more.
Mhm.
So okay, so
Sweet.
basically so is this, so what's going on here?
Was it form 1? Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Jamie brought up a good point. Alternate approach, you could change the conditional logic
Mm-hmm.
to change the button text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So okay, so now basically when you create a new form, you'll see the submit. When you click on edit, you'll see the update button. So that's
Nice.
the, that's the formula that works. So you don't have to every time create, a form per screen. You can just use the same form on multiple. So you can use it for like a new form, edit form, view form. So that helped me a lot. All right, so we got that working. So now what we're going to do, instead of the new, what we're going to do is we're going to add a button here. And we're going to do it here. We're just going to remove that. And then in the button, we're going to add this. Right. So here in the button, we're going to go to fill under the, we're going to look for fill right here. And this is what we're going to do is we're going to use the switch function. So we're going to say if item that status dot value is equal to new, then we're going to put this color. Okay. And then if pending, if it's then pending, then we're going to put it to this color, orange. proof, we're going to put it this color. And if it's rejected, we're going to put it to this color. And then if it's scheduled, we're going to put it to this color.
We'll need to clean up some quotes in there.
Yeah, thank you.
There's a missing column.
And would you keep it? Do you need to put a comma after the value? Is that right? So you say like for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so for this,
So I think you just need a comma before the new
That's
instead of
fine.
an equal sign. Is that right? Or
Yeah, replace that equal sign with a comma.
yeah. I know that from Power BI. I
Oh.
don't know Power Apps. I can tell you that. I just know it from Power BI.
And yellow, green, no
Yeah.
quotes.
Yeah.
Dark green.
oh,
I think they're right. And then one quote after the dark red, I see right there.
yeah,
That quote needs to come after. Very nice.
right. And then take this out. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So what we do then is just change the font to. Okay.
Hey, we got a question in the crowd, Oscar.
Yeah.
Can you
Sorry,
format
yeah.
code across lines? Is there a formatter like DAX? And I think there's one directly built into Power Apps. Am I remembering that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
Format text right there.
Yes. Yes. That
Yeah.
basically, yeah. And then, yeah. Something like that.
That's so nice.
Yeah. So I'm just, okay. So if it's new, green, okay. So then I'm just trying to, okay. So I'm just trying to see where, oh, okay. Because the, I'm trying to figure out why the words are not populating. Okay, hang on.
I don't think you add that into the button text.
Text value.
Into the what?
Button text, the text.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There, yeah. Just click the word text right next to it, and it'll go to that there, and now you can enter in the formula. This item dot whatever status value.
Oh, yeah, that's
No
there it
quotes.
is. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, this item.
You're doing fine, man. You're doing fine.
Yeah,
We're just helping out.
And then the status.
You're doing awesome.
I think you had it in there before. It must have gotten wiped at some
Yeah,
point. Huh?
just
Yeah,
going back and forth. That's the thing that always gets me. You know,
absolutely.
you're typing one thing and then you switch over, and it happened to me before, and I'm like, why is it not working? And I put in the wrong
Yeah.
function. Okay, so now
Don't
we have
ever
this.
ask me to demo. I need full concentration for Power Apps.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got the status working. So now the good thing about this is to disable this is all you have to do is go here and then you go to display mode and all you do is just change it to view. So then it could be more. So now when you go over it, it's more of a label than a button. Okay, so now we got that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and edit this. No, we're going to go back here and we're going to create new. So what we're going to do is have the status column set to new by default. So when they click on a new form, the status will be selected as new. So the way to get that working is we're going to go here. Let's just go back to here and remove the placeholder. And then what we're going to do here is basically add this in the deselect. So it's right up here. Default select items. We're going to do this here. If form1 dot mode is equal to form to new, then the value is equal to new parent default. Okay.
We're gonna need a dot, I think, at the for mode instead of the equal sign.
Sorry.
Yeah, nice.
There you go.
Can
So
you-
now,
I have a quick question for you.
yeah,
Can I call something, if this value in another screen is a certain property, could I call that? Or if I do some logic like that, am I tied to the screen
yeah,
itself, or can I
and
call any other screen?
that's where you could create like a global variable
Okay,
and do that from there. Yeah.
okay. But you're gonna need a global variable for that?
For this presentation, we're just doing the basic.
Got it.
But next one we'll get more deep into it.
Yeah, very cool.
So
Nice to know.
now, yeah. So now basically what we'll do is we'll test it out. So if we go to edit, it should bring in the information. Well, this is new, so this is not a good way. So let's go to, we go to rejected. So it's rejected. We go here. And when we click on new, by default, the new, it's already populated. And so then
Nice.
all we have to do is just submit that. All right, so far, okay. So now what we're going to do is, something. So, okay, so now this is the other one that we're going to do the button. So we'll go here. That's a quantity. So we're going to create another one. And we're going to do the text. This time I remember this item. Okay, hang on. Let's do this. Because I didn't put it inside the gallery. Sorry. Okay. So now we go to text. And then we go to this item. And quantity. Okay. And we select that. Okay. So now we're going to do some conditional formatting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to fill. And we're going to set something to if value, this item quantity in hand is greater than 450, then show green. This item is less than, then show light. We'll do it light blue.
Nice. I think there's one.
No,
Do you need to
here,
close out? Yeah, this item dot quantity on hand. Do you need to close that out right
yeah, yep,
there before that?
yep,
Yeah.
and there it is. So now
Nice.
it will give you some type of color coded, you know, um, view of that. So now we'll do that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is then basically, okay, so now we got this working. Then the other thing that we can do is then bring in an icon. And we'll use this one here. And so we'll put this, yeah, we have to put this within inside this row. So we'll do icon, and then we'll go back to the arrow. Okay. And we'll do the same thing here. in the field property. So what we do is if value this item quantity is greater than 450, then icon up arrow. If not, I think it's icon dot arrow down. Okay, this I think I'm missing here is if value this item color value.
Oh, it's because you're in the fill?
Yeah, you're in the fill.
Is it? Huh.
You want to change the icon property.
Oh. Not a, okay, so we go to, there it is. Okay. There it is. So now we go to here.
And then you just have to set a fill.
Yeah. Right. And then basically, yeah, I could just do this. Put this as white or transparent. And then just change the color to white. And then basically now it will show if the inventory is up, it will show the arrow. If its inventory is down, it will then show the arrow down. It's just a way to, to display, a more visual look. Okay, so now we have this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back to edit, and we're going to use, then we're going to go ahead and patch this, and then we're going to go to unselect. Sometimes you just have to. And what we're going to do for here is we're going to update the item. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a patch inventory 1, and then the gallery 1 selected. And we're going to then I think it's 1. That. And then the status. Yeah, we're going to do the status. Let's just do status text. And then we're going to then update the price.
Looks like that data card value 1 is actually tied to the title.
Yes. Yes. So what we're going to do, and I'll show you now, is let's go ahead and then we're going to use the value to convert to a number. So we're going to do the value data card 7 text. And then the last thing is we're going to do quantity and data card value 8. Then we're going to close this. So now let's just go ahead here.
I think we have to change your nomenclature on those data card values. Yeah, as Jamie mentioned, this is I know we're doing this for speed, but it's a good
Yeah.
learning lesson on renaming all your data cards and your
Oh,
data
yeah.
values. So they're easy to reference downstream.
Yeah. So let me. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
So-
ask about that. It gets
Yeah.
at least when I start having a few cars up there
Yeah, it gets a little
for sure.
oh, sorry, it's because it's drop down. So what we do is here, go here, select item, there it goes. And then the value, and then basically we have to close this. It's looking for,
Yeah. Is it the data card value 4? Did you mention that was the title, Jeremy? Is that right? Can you see with the
no,
colors?
yeah.
Okay.
I want to reference that drop down, whatever the drop down name is, right
Yeah.
next to the status.
Yeah. So it's supposed to, oh, selected. Okay. And
You'll
then,
that data card value 4 to whatever the name of the drop down is. That has the status value.
oh, I'm sorry.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. There it is. Okay. So what is it missing? Hang on. So, oh. So let's go to,
So if you close
oh,
the formula bar, if you collapse that down,
yeah.
and then you go in and click on the gallery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to the gallery. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you collapse the formula bar, just shrink that down.
Mm-hmm.
You can shrink it down the whole way, and you can click on the drop down in there,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see, you'll see that's data card value 4, and then the second one, oh, that is correct.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little, yeah. Let me see something here. If I go back here,
I think you need closing parentheses. Do you need closing parentheses there?
Your curly's on the yeah, no, that was right.
yeah. That's the thing about Power Apps here. So
Mhm.
the way I do it sometimes is, let's say I go back here and I do this. Okay, so let's do something here. It's supposed to be data card selected. Okay, so we do selected dot value.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see here.
I think you'll have to reference your inventory 1. Do you want gallery 1 dot selected as the second
Oh,
function?
wait, let's do
For the
something here.
record, you'll want defaults in there, right?
No, because the default basically states that if you're adding a new item, the default's an item. What I'm doing is updating the inventory of the
Try
item.
try removing the dot value.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. So what we're gonna do, let's format. Okay, so that's what it was. Wow. So now let's go ahead and then create the title, right? And that's, I think it was number 7. So it's okay. So we go here and we go back to title. Yeah, that's the thing about, you have to rename this. So we'll go back here.
Hey, Jamie, quick question. The status, it looks like it's patching a record value. Now, wouldn't it want a specific value?
So what does,
It is the record of
yeah.
that drop down. So the drop down is a record and it's going into another record.
Yeah, got it.
So here we'll do the test here. So we got this, right? Now to debug, to test it, basically what I do is I will go back here, right? And we're gonna test the title up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the lemon berry pie. We'll edit this and we'll put 1. If everything works, oh, because I have to put the navigation part. You see, it automatically updates the Pi 1. So what we'll do is we'll go here. We'll go back to this one. We'll do the edit. We'll go back to update. And then what we'll do now is just close this and then put a navigation back to screen 1. So let's go ahead and just finish this off. So we have the title and the price that we need. So now what we do is we go here. Then we'll do price, data card 2, and then text. We're going to use value to convert it to, okay. And then I think the last one is the quantity in hand. So now we just go back here, add a new line, and we'll data card 3, not the best practice, okay. And then basically, okay, so now we got everything ready to do the update for the patch. So now we go back here and test it. And we'll go and do the mid fudge cookie. We'll go ahead and edit that. We'll call it 2. We'll change the price to $10. And we'll bump up the inventory to 200. And we'll go ahead and just say pending. So now we do the update. It will update. And now it changed the title, it changed the quantity, and it changed the status to pending. So we got that working. So now what we have to do is then now go back to here and change, right, and now we go back here, and what we do is we'll do the same thing as we did for the update, but we'll just change it to the default. So once we go here, we'll do this, and we'll just change it to back here, and we'll change it to the default. So, oh, sorry. Okay. So then we'll call this, let's just do this right here, patch. Call this inventory 1, and then we'll do the default. Then inventory 1. Now we'll go ahead and just do the same thing. And we should use the same, it should be the same data card. And that's the good thing about using one form. Okay, so now we go to data card form, selected, and then we'll go to title. .3 text. And then just to make sure that it works, we'll go ahead and then select the format text to bring that down. And we'll go ahead and select price. We'll convert this using value. And we'll go ahead and then add the quantity. And now we got, so the difference between the update and the submit is the update, we are updating it within the gallery, and the default is creating a new item into the gallery. So now that we got that, we could go ahead and test it. So basically, what we can do is we'll create a new one, and we'll select new, apple pie. We'll call it $3, and we'll put the inventory as 200. So once you submit, oh, again, apologize. Just we'll go back here, and we'll close this out. Add a navigation. Back to screen one. So now we go here. Let's see if, so it looks like it didn't. So, okay, so now this is a good moment to put a delete button. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. And we're going to move this over here. And we're going to add a trash icon. We'll call, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a remove function. And we're going to call this remove inventory one dot inventory one dot gallery dot one dot selected. And then we're going to add a notification. And we're going to call it, we're going to add the notification dot success and close it. So now we go to the one that we created without the title. If we select this, it will automatically then give you a notification that it was removed. So now if we go back to the new form, this is the other mistake too, is we have to clear it out every time you submit. So what we do is we'll do a reset function. So once we do that, we'll do the reset form one, and then navigate.
I have a question for you. In that
Yeah.
code right there,
Mhm.
is it going to jump through kind of your, after the semicolon, the reset form and navigate? Is that only going to execute if your patch function works?
Yes, yes, yes. So the best way to do it is do some type of validation before to make sure that there's data in the status, title, price, quantity on hand. And then if there's data, then it'll go ahead and submit and then reset the form. So the next time you put an entry, the form is as a new status.
Mhm.
So yeah, so yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I found too with the patch, at least for me, it's like not intuitive to actually wrote back or not.
Right.
So for my little app, I got to do, and then I want to put something like a check mark show up for a second. I think you showed us that last time.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, right. So now if we submit this, it should now, maybe, did I put this? Okay, let's see what I did wrong. Yeah, this is the life of PowerApps. So we go to the new form. And the title is, oh, I'm sorry. The title is, that's why. I had that title one, and then 2. Okay, so I think we have that. So that we have that correct. Okay. All right, so now let's go back here and we go back to screen 1. And of course, so let's go ahead and delete that. Okay. It'll give you a notification that it's been deleted. So let's go ahead and go back here. Apple pie. Put this at $3.99 and the quantity is 200. So now we will submit this. It should now show up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now what we can do is we can sort this out a little bit in the gallery. So now once we go to the gallery, this is, yeah, so we'll go here to the gallery, and then in the item, what we're going to do is we're going to sort by sort inventory gallery 1 by ID and then by descending. So now it basically gets sorted from the top to the bottom. Okay, so the next what we'll do is then basically now go ahead and just format this guy. And then we'll do something like just to make it, more user friendly. Yeah. Best practice is always have the same color as the button. I'll fix that now. So we have, okay, so now, right, one last thing is let's go ahead and just bring this down a little bit. Just bring this down here. And we'll add another rectangle here. We'll just add it here. And then now what we're going to do is then we're going to create the label here. So at least we could put some headers on the top here. So what we'll do is it's called product name. And let's go here. And we'll call this quantity. Okay. And we'll call this, let's put this over here. Let's move this over here. And we'll call this status. And then we'll call this create by. Okay. Now what we'll do is then we'll just do this guy here. And then this is more of let's go here. So now we just stretch this guy here. And then just add this guy here. Add the price. So now we have a header here, could be improved. So we do this guy. So what we do is, okay, so we go to new. So now what we can do is just let's do copy here. We don't have to remove the bar. We just, yeah. Let me just go back to screen 2. What we do is just delete this guy. And the good thing about when you copy and paste, it brings in the code too. So we just go ahead and remove this guy and just bring this guy. I think if we go here, no, it's not gonna work that way. So and then we'll bring it over here and just align it here. So we have a dashboard in the first screen, and we have a dashboard when we either editing or creating a new item or product. And then basically just line up here. And then the one thing that we can do too is then basically let's move this a little bit this way. And we're going to add an ID. So we go to here and we're going to create another label. Or you know what we can do is we can create an icon. We'll do a circle. I think we have it all the way down here.
They don't let you search for the icon. You just
No,
gotta find it.
yeah. That's so now we do this guy, right? We'll do a label, and we'll do this, and the ID is already here. We'll just put it over here. I'll align it to the center. We'll go this boat, and then we'll go ahead and select. So now everything. So now everything is, you can see by ID. So now what we do is let's go ahead and check the SharePoint list. And as you can see, we'll just go ahead and filter from, and as you can see, everything is here stored with ID, the title, the price, the quantity, the status, and create by. So what we'll do is let's go ahead and we'll create a new one. Just we'll do a price of $4.99 and we'll do quantity of 200. So now when we select new, it shows up here and it will show up here. There it is. It just came in right now. So let's say we'll want to change this to 100 and then we just update it. And now the status changed to update. And now the status, the quantity should change to 100. So now the other thing too is these buttons. So what we do now, we'll do the same thing with the status, is we'll go here and we go to default mode and we just change it to view. And now it's more static. So then what we do next is we'll just do the icon and we'll put it to 64. Let's do better to, let's make it smaller to fit in within the, okay. And we'll just change it here. it's always good to. So now what we'll do, we'll play around. Let's just go ahead and change this. We'll do the change it up a little bit here. We'll put it to 85. And now it should look a little bit more.
Nice. Looks good.
Yeah. And then the last thing here, we have our edit button. We have our dashboard here. We have our new item here. So what we'll do now is just let's go ahead and add a notification. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go here. And what we do here is just say reset and then navigate. And then what we'll do is we'll add the notification. We'll add the notification after. Yeah. So now we do notify. Um, and then we do this. And then let's say successfully. And then we can put some type of timeout. So we'll put it for like 3 seconds. And then that's it. So now that's, we'll do this one for the update. And we'll do for the edit. The power up sometimes, yes. Okay, now we go here. And then for the update, we'll just do something like this. And then update it. So that should work. So now the last thing is what we're going to do is we're going to align the buttons. So if we go to edit, this is A52 by 617. So what we'll do here is we'll go here to the new one where submit shows. I think that was the one. So if we go to edit, we'll see the button update. If we go to new, we'll see the submit button. So let's go ahead and just align this over here better. And then we'll go ahead and update this guy here. So now it aligns depending on if it's a new form or edit form. And then what we'll do here is then just create another. We'll create this guy here. And then what we'll do is bring the icon to the front. And just have it here. And then we'll just make it a little bit more smaller to fit in within the rectangle. Okay. So now we could just, and then edit. Then we go back. We can now delete the item. It deletes. So now it deletes the item. So I think we deleted, we'll delete this one, number 2, and now number 2 should, once we refresh, number 2 should be gone. And that is how you use conditional formatting using a SharePoint as a data source and using the Power App at the front end to display that data from a SharePoint.
Awesome. Good
And
job, Oscar.